Anyhow.
You all drunk and shit? What, you was gonna let them run a train on you?
No. You overreacting as usual.
I'm not supposed to watch you. You keep trying to leave the club all the time.
Wait a minute, you supposed to be watching me? Here for you and my mama's information. I don't need nobody watching me. I'm grown. I've been watching myself for a long motherfucking time now. I wanna make some extra money on the side. That's my business, not yours.
It's your business. You right. But what you trying to do? Make a career of it?
Maybe everybody can't go to college. So we just got to use what we got to get what we want.
Oh, please. Don't give me none of them Ronnie Ho quotes. Make the money. Don't let it make you.
You didn't empty the cans in 104. I'm docking your place.
Come on.
I'm gonna beat your ass like a runaway slave. Start the music. I'll be right back.
No, it's not. Get out now.
Anyhow.
You all drunk and shit? What, you was gonna let them run a train on you?
No. You overreacting as usual.
I'm not supposed to watch you. You keep trying to leave the club all the time.
Wait a minute, you supposed to be watching me? Here for you and my mama's information. I don't need nobody watching me. I'm grown. I've been watching myself for a long motherfucking time now. I wanna make some extra money on the side. That's my business, not yours.
It's your business.
Snaps.
Hello, everybody. Peace be on to you guys. I could not wait to get started with this stream, y'all. I couldn't wait because there's been all type of talk in these YouTube streets. So before I cut to the chase, we got everybody in the house. Start posting some of these comments. Yes. Number one fan in the house. Peace be on you, sister. Beautiful MGT. Hyla. Treaty Nation. Peace. Peace, you guys. I was going to wait for a little bit more people before I get started. But I'm going to go ahead and put the link for the last live stream that I'm about to be talking about. So, how is everybody? I hope everybody doing good. Before we get started here, before I start dropping some lessons, okay? Because there's been a lot of talk in these streets. And, well, first, I guess I'll say, welcome to the Sistory Healinghood, where we specialize in healing, revitalization for your soulhood. Okay. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to all who reached out to me, who were really supporting me and showing me love before the stream, during the stream, and after the stream. So thank you to everybody. And what streamer am I talking about? Well, some of you guys are new here and you know me by Chimarra Ali from this episode on Moorish TV. And it was, of course, escaping the NOI. And it definitely got a lot of attraction. I want to say shout out to my brother from Moorish TV, Tahaka, because he allowed me to come on there and share my story. Thank you. Oh, I just love all the love. Like, that's why I couldn't wait to get up on here, because there was just so many things that I wanted to say on that stream, but it's his platform and I respect every platform that I go on, no matter if I agree with you, if I don't agree with you. I'm my own individual person. And we came up with the title together. So it's not like he propaganded it all by himself. It was definitely to get your attention on the whole situation of not just the Nation of Islam, but more so on the whole spectrum of each one of these organizations and their founders, and how people come together based on their beliefs in order to push a narrative. And we don't necessarily know who this narrative is always benefiting. So when you don't know something, you should ask questions. Asking questions is very important. That's just one thing that we can do as humans. Not everybody and everything has the ability to ask questions and then act on the free will of those questions. So I just wanted to get that straight. I got my notes here because when I was doing his interview, I actually had wrote all these notes down because I thought that maybe he was just going to let me just tell my story like it was Lifetime or something like that. But no, he came prepared with questions. Okay. I didn't know none of the questions. I didn't talk to the brother a whole lot going into it. What made me even stumble across his show, he was going in on the NOI, the Nation of Islam. My mother, she was in the Nation of Islam. She raised me within the Nation of Islam. So that's all I ever knew. I didn't know anything else. Most of my family was Christian, but my mother was that outlier who was in the nation, fortified, ready to ride for Elijah Muhammad. We did come up in Farrakhan, Louis Farrakhan's Nation of Islam, which is something I feel like I have to say now because I didn't know that there was so many different nations of Islams. Obviously, there's multi facets of Muslims and people of Islam and associations of Islam, but I was always taught about, the Nation of Islam represented by Louis Farrakhan, under the studies and teachings of Elijah Muhammad. So to see that these other nations, these other people who are a part of different types of nations come out and they share their story is very awakening to me. And I appreciate all that. I appreciate every last one of you guys. You don't really understand what people know and what people go through until you tap in to who they are. And there was a couple brothers who was trying to come for me, but after they seen the interview, after they seen the show, they pretty much realized like everybody has a story. And what people forget is that people matter. If there's one thing you can take from this whole experience before you want to cast judgment, before you want to push your narrative, your beliefs on anybody, you need to understand that human nature matters and people matter. So we can't act in the accord of our own, not realizing that it's going to affect another. So when I was asking questions about the nation back in 2012, 2010, I wasn't getting the answers that I was looking for. I didn't realize that other people were going like through the same thing, that other people were in the state of contemplation. And that's one of the greatest tools that God has given us, is to be able to contemplate, to be able to sort out information and go back and forth with it, to be able to test it, to see and preserve and produce evidence for it. These are all mathematical, scientific, human things. This is what we do. So to know that there's other like-minded people out there who's asking these questions, who have these, they see the same thing that I'm seeing within the same organization. I was like, okay, this is something that I can work with. Seeing Brother Tahaka with his Moorish TV, he was going in about Master Prophet Muhammad and about the sun and all type of stuff. He's just, totally going in on it. And I get it. That's what I'm trying to tell you is like, you have to understand people. You have to know that people matter. So when you start understanding people, you understand that they matter. You realize that it doesn't matter if y'all disagree with something or how they go about it. Instead of me rebuttaling or having an attitude or just dismissing it, how about we study it? How about we put a little bit of a microscope and some light on it? We shouldn't just be dismissing people's ideas because they don't share the same belief. That's what drove me to Moorish TV. He didn't have to share the same belief, but he definitely had a lot of insight and knowledge that I never heard before. What we got going on here? You don't have to apologize, sister. Nobody has to apologize to me. You know why? It's because I never asked anybody to follow me. I am not a messenger. I'm not a prophetess. I am merely just a human. I'm just a woman. And I am, like J. Cole said, I'm a man of the people, not above, but equal. And for the greater good, I'll slay all the evil. Okay? And that's how I feel about this. You don't have to apologize to me. There were so many people who apologized, and it's okay. There's a lot of questions that I wanted to get to that I didn't get to. I'm about to get to them soon here. I wanted to provide a little bit of background and context. I actually ain't got nothing terrible to say about the NOI. Every person who is involved in the nation, even the believers that I had study group with, everybody's just reached out to me with love and insight. And then the number one thing that really triggered a lot of people is the thumbnail, the whole escape from Islam, the nation. You have the MGT on there. It's really provocative for it to be a going after the nation type thing. And of course, like I said, the association with who it's, putting it on, that's going to bring even more emotion to this fight. But I felt like I picked the greatest platform to go on to have this conversation, because you need to have conversations with people who don't think like you. You need to be able to articulate and formulate your own ideas when they're being challenged. Not your beliefs. Your beliefs are put there by somebody else. Okay? We're talking about what you know. The weight of what you know outweighs the weight of what you believe. We're going to go further, deeper into that in a little bit. Okay. We're going to go further into that in a little bit. But that's what drew me to him. When I see him going in on the nation, he had the beautiful sister Jamila on there. And I can't wait to do more pieces with the sister. I can't wait to do more pieces with a lot of people who reach out to me, because that's just what kind of person I am. If I could work with Brother Tahaka, I'm pretty sure I could work with y'all. So when I seen Jamila, her piece, it was really powerful. It was really inspirational. And it made me want to be able to tell my story, because I didn't think that my story was like that bad. Honestly, I felt like it was pretty typical, and I went out quietly. I didn't, make a fuss of it. I didn't get exiled. I didn't get removed. I didn't get suspended. And, I wasn't, people were saying like, well, you wasn't registered, in the nation, so you couldn't expect the nation to do anything. Like, I ain't even trying to hear all that. It doesn't matter if you registered. If you're willing to put your time, which you'll never get back, your money or resources, which you'll never get back, towards any cause, they deserve to have an output for you. Because what are they there for? They're there for the people, right? They're there for the community, right? So when you start to see these things fall apart, you realize maybe they're not there for what they say they are. And if you think that even for a half a second, you're asking a question that requires an answer, and you better get to the bottom of it. Point blank. So I survived this show, y'all. I didn't get the death threats. I didn't get the death penalty. I didn't get the electric chair. But I didn't get an opportunity to go into what I really wanted to talk about. So go on YouTube and get some public watch hours. That's right. We're trying to get monetized over here, so we could just do this full time and just keep putting out the message. Because unlike a lot of people who come on here and they preach or they talk or whatever like that, I don't do that. I just come on here because I feel like God has blessed me with a message, and he's given me the energy to be able to relay it to you. And my message, for the most part, isn't going to be religious based. It's going to be based in reality. It's going to be based in history, truth. So as we get started here, I got us a timeline, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to class. We got us a timeline. And this timeline is of religions and ideology. This particular timeline is going to take place, for the most part, in the early 1800s into the late 1900s. Okay? I just wanted to point out how many of them there are. When you go through, you're going to probably say like, oh, there's not, thank you, brother. Thank you. That's right. Represent on both. So if you look at it here, you might see some religious groups that you're familiar with. You might see some that you're not familiar with. But the whole point is, when I was doing my research and reading, they said that there was an explosion of religious ideologies getting passed around in America, for the most part, from 1850 to 1950. And I found that fascinating, because we have two groups that the Moorish Temple I'm talking about, and the Nation of Islam. The Moorish Temple established in 1913. The Nation of Islam established in 1930. They fall right in this category of idealism and religious sets that were, created during this time. But America itself is always trying to find a new belief system to reinvent and to sell to the people. And I have nothing bad to say about none of these beliefs. I have nothing bad. Well, the one at the end, the People's Temple, and then the Jamestown. I'm saying, I think we can agree on that one. That was pretty messed up. But the other ones, let me see if I can switch it. There you go. If you look at the other ones, it's not so bad. We got the KKK in there, but they had a job to do, folks, and they carried it out. The point that I'm trying to make is the Nation of Islam, the Moorish Temple, these are not just separate entities. These are not just isolated incidents that happen. You see a pattern, okay? Patterns are mathematical, they're scientific. When you have a timeline that's of history, that's letting you know the layout of what to expect in the things that happened in the past. You see a reoccurring theme. Some of these are so deep. I was gonna go ahead and read some of them because some of them are so deep. Okay, so we got the Mennonite movement in 1525. We have the Amish community established in 1693. I went ahead and threw in there the Willie Lynch letter because I do not know if you are a Black individual watching this video. Go ahead and put me on a big screen because they need to see this. If you are a Black individual from America, really, it don't even matter who you are or where you from, because we don't play that here. Everybody should be pulling this book out, which is a Willie Lynch letter, The Making of a Slave. Everybody should be pulling this book out and reading it at least every 6 months. It's a heavy read for it to only be 45 pages. It's a heavy read, but it's a necessity. The reason why I threw the Willie Lynch letter on this timeline is because if you go through and you really read this book, you can understand. What up, Blackfoot Nation, Cherokee Nation? If you go through and you read this book, this isn't just ideology. This isn't just a religion. This is a way of life. This was a way to break humans into formation. It gives you the playbook on how this cycle will be perpetuated. If done right, this cycle will be perpetuated for an indefinite amount of time. An indefinite amount of time. This book demonstrates, by the way, it's $4 on Amazon. So go get it before, AI comes and rips it up and you will never see what was really written in it ever again. Go read it. It has a greeting letter that tells you the layout of how things is going to go down in this book. It is a kind of graphic read. There's a lot of N words with a hard R in there. But if you are a darker indigenous person of America, you definitely should be reading this. You definitely should be feeling this. You definitely should be reminded of this. And this is what was the framework for a lot of these ideologies. This is how they keep people controlled. This is how they keep people to fall in line, and I'm going to tell you right now, to belong to something is just a innate human thing. It's always been inside us to want to belong to something. That's tribalism. So it's not nothing like, super radical that these individuals then started these sects, but this is something that reoccurs and this happens. I don't know where I left off at, but Willie Lynch letter, that happened in 1712. Okay. Then we have the Shakers and the Quakers of America. Y'all gonna have to go read about them. I suggest y'all go read about them. 1774. In 1830, we got the Mormon movement. I don't know if y'all really know about the Mormons, but you should. You should definitely go read about the Mormons. You should definitely be reading about the Seventh-day Adventists, the Ku Klux Klan, all the way to the Moorish Temple. You got the Jehovah's Witness established right after the Nation of Islam was established. And then we follow through with Scientology, the People's Temple. I ain't got no beef with nobody's belief. I just want us to do a deeper dive of what I really just showed you, because you can see that and just be like, well, that's just a timeline that doesn't have any real correlation to what was going on in that interview. But I'm going to tell you that going on to the Moorish TV show should have provided people with the validation of connection. We are not going to be divided. We should not be divided like this. It has always been in history that each groups have their clans and they have their gangs and They have their cliques. It's just a normal thing that we do. We turn to stay with like-minded individuals and build something with them. There's nothing wrong with that. But to be able to not continue to build with individuals because of these differences is a little bit irrational. I don't think a lot of people don't understand what's going to come. The end is here. It's not even a biblical thing that we should be talking about. We can definitely see that this is a new age going on. Instead of putting so much weight onto beliefs, you should put more weight onto the evidence, doing the research, doing the experiments, gaining the understanding, collecting knowledge by collecting books, collecting real hardcore evidence that you can go back to, that they just can't modify, that they just can't rip the binds off of them, scan them through a machine, and then incinerate them, because that's exactly what they're doing. And if you're going to allow something like that to happen, then of course you're going to fall for somebody telling you what you should be hearing instead of you reading it yourself, being educated yourself. Things are designed, particularly in America, not for your benefit. They're designed to keep you under control to benefit somebody else. It's always been like that, and I don't really see it changing. So you just got to get on the right side of where you want to be at. And it's really up to you to figure out where you're going to be at. Because like I said, the world is changing. And when the world starts going down, it doesn't matter what you believe. It's all going to be about what you know. You're only going to be able to survive based off the information and the proofs and the evidence of the things that you know. The only other reason why you're going to survive is because you have community. You need these like-minded individuals. As divided as some of the comments I read in both from the Moorish community and the Islamic community and all the other communities that fall in between, it's like y'all don't even realize how connected you guys are. You may think that you're enemies, but really, y'all need each other more than anything. Let me tell you something about your enemies. I read this actually in the 33 Strategies of War. Sometimes your enemy is not sometimes. All the time, your enemy is your best critic. You can't be out here listening to your mom, to your friends, to your coworkers who are secretly hating on you. Everybody's going to be secretly hating on you. They ain't going to tell you to your face, but they are. You can't rely on them to be honest with you. You can't rely on them to tell you your blind spots, to show you your flank. You can't do it. They're going to be in an echo chamber of telling you what they think you want to hear, not even what you need to know. Your enemy is going to be the best tool to sharpen you. So while everybody's always trying to go at each other and cause division, study them. Study them. Learn something from them. If you can't learn something from your enemy, you got a problem. You got a problem. They will outmaneuver you and you will lose because of sheer emotion. You must rise above your emotions. Because what's coming is we're going to need critical decisions. We're going to need strong individuals. You're going to need like-minded people. And I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter what you believe, long as you believe in something. But stronger than that belief in something is bearing witness, showing the research, pulling out the books, keeping the books, passing on the knowledge through storytelling. That's how we always thrive in history. And if I'm wrong, then you better tell me so I can learn not to say that again and I can actually know the facts. Okay? Sometimes we need people to step up. Sometimes we do need people to volunteer. But we don't need an individual to be that link for us to be able to communicate with our creator. Using your enemy can get you there quicker than you being relaxed with your friends, with your echo chamber of comfort. Sometimes you need to get uncomfortable. I did a whole past live stream in my cinematic Sistory universe where I do a breakdown of living in a matrix, because that's what we all are living in, a simulation of matrix. People sometimes use their belief and their belief systems to check out of reality, and they can just bury themselves into whatever doctrine or organization or whatever they want. And that's what I'm trying to express to my brothers and sisters, is that you can't tell me like, oh, you didn't grow up in the nation. Everything is fortified through and through me. It is imprinted on my very fabric of being, to the point where it is hard to almost break free. You could take one look at me and know that I am not just a woman of the world. And if you can't see it by the way I look, you definitely could tell by when we have a conversation. I'm going to break it down. When you're under an organization like the nation, I'm only going to talk about them because that's the only experience I got. And we're going off of experience because that's how I'm going to provide my proof. And if I experience something and somebody else didn't experience it the same way, well, then give your story so we can get some more understanding. If y'all feel what I'm saying, please put a 9 in the chat. 9 is my favorite number. And I think if you know what 9 means, yeah. In the Nation of Islam, like I was trying to tell Brother Tanaka, we read books. We go to class. We study the Muslim program. We have the Book of Femininity, Supreme Wisdom. Like I said, my 3 favorite books was How to Eat to Live, Fall of America, and My Savior Has Arrived. I loved My Savior Had Arrived because it gave me the comfort that God saw me. I love the Fall of America because don't be fooled by this pretty face. I was a straight warrior, and I'm still a warrior to this day. Okay? I ain't gonna let nothing happen to me or anybody around me. And I stand on that like the Statue of Liberty. Thank you. All right. So also they have the Vanguards, they have the economic program, they have the 9 ministries. But the cherry on the top, like I said, is writing your letter. Writing your letter. I didn't get an opportunity to actually share this on the interview, but I did write my letter when I was 17, and it got rejected. It was like my second letter. 17 years old. You know, you write your letter, that gets rejected. It's a psychological tactic. If you read a book, you know that if you have an individual put more energy and effort into any type of initiation, you reject them the first time. If they come back and you reject them again, they come back again, they're going to be fortified in the cause a little bit more. That's just how our brain works. So I understand that. Constantly thinking about Islam, constantly thinking about what Elijah Muhammad said, constantly battling devils. You're a white devil. You're a Christian. You believe in Jesus. You're going to go to hell. Hell don't even exist. You can sin all day because Jesus is going to take care of you in the end. I don't even know, y'all. I don't even know. I was really on my high horse when I was in the nation. I was them four devils, y'all. Them 4 devils. Okay. When you take a step back, though, and I suggest everybody that belongs to something, eventually you should take a step back and have a bird's eye view on the whole organization as a whole. It was a lot of constant reassuring. It was a whole lot of repetition. It's a whole lot of we set the standards and what we say is final. It's a whole lot of we cannot question. Beliefs shouldn't be built on words. It shouldn't be built on preaching. Beliefs should be built on evidence. And if you don't have evidence for your beliefs, then I'm going to tell you right now, they belong to somebody else and they were installed in you. They have somebody else's handwriting on them. You are not the originator of that belief. And I think we already know that. I think that's pretty common. Babylon is falling right before our eyes. And in a little bit, we're going to get into how we see in this in real time. What this brother say? Brother Gerard. Okay, Brother Gerard, believe it or not, I'm in my 30s. I need glasses every now and then. Okay, as a people, we are ancient. In our story, we always had different factions. I don't see it changing, but it didn't stop us from unity and when needed in different ideologies, and it's always been like that. It definitely has always been like that. It will always be like that. If that timeline shows you anything, is when one person does something, everybody tends to do it. And in America, when Whitey does it, and when Whitey get away with it for a long enough time, Whitey lets one or two of us in there, and then we feel like we can get away with it. But then, Whitey always puts us back in our place. So you got to learn to rise above it. And that's all I'm saying. Your beliefs should definitely have evidence to them. They should have a weight. Words and preaching sometimes just has a strong scent to it, and it draws us in. It just is something that's unique. It's like home to us because we're spiritual people. We've always been spiritually, but we're also tied to this land, and we're also tied to the sun, the moon, the stars. We're tied to all the living creatures. We're tied to the ocean. We're tied to the waters. Women, ladies. We're tied to the moon, our cycles. We're tied to the tides. We're tied to all the rivers that flow, anything that flows. Our power is much greater than just the words that somebody can preach to you without the evidence weighing it down. Belief isn't something that you can necessarily also measure, because everybody's belief is going to be unique to them. Something that you can measure, though, is something that is installed in you that you don't even know is installed in you. And that would be God himself. You don't need to go to anybody to have that personal connection to God. You don't. Literally, all you got to do is walk outside, go touch some grass, go look at some animals, go look at something that you can't even control, like a tree growing or some fruit falling down. The atmosphere, everything is controlled by laws. Everything is governed by laws in this world. So we need to be able to tap into that divine force that is in all of us. And they do a good job of distracting the shit out of you so you can't do it. They distract us already with just working, having to wake up, eat this food that's poisonous, drink this water that they're trying to make disappear. And with all this stuff that's going on, and it's always been going on, we already established that this has been going on for a longer time. We all was looking for salvation. We all looking for something. We put up I don't know what that means, but we all looking for something. Whatever we looking for, and you can't find it, you don't have access to it, it's already inside you. You have to activate it, though. That's something that is forgotten. Just coming together and activating that in a way that we can activate that without even associating our beliefs with anybody, is just having that mutual respect, that borderline based respect. Do y'all know when Christopher Columbus, Rene Descartes, Cortez, when they brought they funky European butts over here, the first thing that they all wrote down was that the people there look Negroid, African, but they had copper skin that turned brown in the sun, but still remained red undertone. They said they had robust bodies. And they also said, even though it's a nation of many, they all live harmoniously. Harmoniously. Which means we do know how to act without knucking and bucking and ready to fight. That's what they wrote. Go check it out. That's what they wrote. It says, how does your experiences with family, community, history, and society shape your identity? I'm going to tell you how. Being aware of things. When it comes to my family and my community, my family has always, like many Black people's families, there's always that one person in there that they just don't know how to act. Sometimes you love your family, but you got to distance yourself from them because they're not ready to receive the knowledge that you are. But that's not just your family. Sometimes it be like that with any group of your people. Never turn your back on them, though. You can definitely quietly love them in the dark and from a distance. But things shape my reality. Things shape my identity by me knowing. I just have to know something. I have to get to the bottom of it. It doesn't matter if it has to do with my family or my community, my children. Not so much my job, because y'all know I'll be out there delivering that damn mail. I gotta get ready to wrap this up because I gotta deliver this mail soon. I gotta go to sleep so I can wake up and deliver this mail. We got Pastor William. Mr. Pastor William is out here watching. Thank you for supporting and watching, brother. I appreciate that. That knowing definitely wants to, I set aside from that. But before, I guess I'm going to be going a little bit over, but before I go on to the next one, I wanted to kind of address something. I know there was a brother out there who made a video reaction of me, and he used my picture, he used my likeness, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay, y'all. But on his thumbnail, I saw it was a picture of me, it was a picture of Father Flaga, and it was a picture of Louis Farrakhan. And I don't think I said anything bad about Father Flaga himself personally. I just said I always side-eyed the relationship between the whitewashing of the Nation of Islam versus the teachings that they say white people are the devil, the scum of the earth. Such extreme language to be used on individuals that you pretty much let into your circle. I always side-eyed that. I always will kind of side-eye that because, like, what you doing? L. Ron Hubbard was the nail in the coffin for why I was like, I'm done. Much love from Vegas. Thank you. But yeah, I always side-eye that. I always was like, if we're going to bring in any Caucasian person to get any knowledge from, if we can get any understanding and knowledge from, it should be this man, Robert Greenan. If y'all have read one of his books, or if you have studied any of his works, please put a 9 in the chat. Because it's not like I'm saying we should worship him. I'm not saying that we should be letting him into all the secrets or anything. But this man, look, I Googled it. Robert Greenan has done any scandals or negativity towards Black people. I kept it real vague, kept it real. It's just the short answer is no. It's no. No, the author has any public scandals. In fact, he actually is courageous towards the Black community. We know he worked with 50 Cent doing the 50th Law, but it also says he has collaborated with high profiles as Jay-Z, which is questionable. Kanye West, which is questionable, and Drake, they all questionable demon worshippers, but still they are brothers. They still are brothers. You can learn so much information from this man. And I appreciate him. I don't care what color he is. I appreciate Robert Greenan because he done the work, and he done the history, and he done the psychology review of our very enemy, right? He done all the work for us. All you got to do is pick up the book, read it, analyze it, digest it. I'm not even saying worship this man. I'm saying go get one of his books. There's a reason why they banned all this man's books in the penitentiary. They banned them all. If a CO or a sergeant see one of these inmates with one of these books, they confiscating it. It's theirs. Oops. No. Yeah. Why? What do they not want inmates, slaves? What do they not want them to know that's in a book that they got to take it from them? There's power in those words. His books are long, but they're good. Does anybody know who has the largest production of oil in the United States? I just wanted to throw this out here for y'all because it is the United States. The United States is the world's top producer of crude oil since 2018. Since the year my mother passed away, the U.S. has consistently been outproduced with other nations, including Russia and Saudi Arabia, thanks to the advancement of snail oil extraction. So while they out here playing in our face, while they out here not caring, we all have to work. We all have to get around. We all have children that we need to push on to the next generation. We all have work to do. And they out here playing in our face. But yeah, we want to argue, and we want to get mad at each other in the comments for our belief differences that ain't going to ever change. They ain't going to ever change. Belief is so strong that people can have evidence of being wrong, and they will hold down that evidence of being wrong. They will live a whole life in being wrong, in denial, instead of changing their belief or modifying it. That's how deep belief goes. We had many empires and kingdoms with different religions who lived in harmony with one another. Yes, we did, brother. And this wasn't just in the United States. This was all over the world. From the United States to the southern parts of Africa, to the Congo, all the way to India, all the way to even, not Japan. Not Japan, y'all, but China, Korea, Vietnam, Laos. Yeah, and don't even get me started on the Pakistan countries. Them Stan countries. Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan. Don't get me started on them damn Stan countries, okay? And since we talking, I hope there's a believer in the comments. If there's a believer in the comments, let me know, because I'm about to ask something. How can we acknowledge different people's experiences without competing over the suffering? Without competing over who's suffering the greater. You know what's funny? It's because everybody gonna suffer. Wouldn't you rather distribute the amount of suffering that's going on across a larger group of people than just a concentrated group of people is doing the most suffering? Therefore, they're expecting to get the greatest payout. It's actually sad that we're competing for who suffers the greatest. Because at the end of the day, we all gonna suffer. What's to come doesn't care about what you look like. They don't care about what your skin color is. They don't care. If you don't got enough money in the bank, they don't care. And that's why when I was on his show with Brother Taka, I'm like, I always ask the nation, like, where is the money going? Where's the ledger? Where's the ledger? Where's the money going? Where's it going? I need to know, because where's our bunker? Where's our submarine? Where's our airplanes? How we gonna get out of here? How we gonna get to the top of the mountain to meet the baby planes? I'm just kidding, y'all. I just wanted to know. I needed to know. All right? I just wanted to know. Because like I'm saying, why they gonna disappear into the ground with they bunkers. They're gonna leave people out here. And if you do not have a divine understanding of God and you're not willing to die on that, you gonna probably die a slow, agonizing death of being poisoned, starved out, or straight radiated. You could take your point. But before I put this next comment on the screen, my question to the NOI is, if Master Farah Muhammad's mother's a white Caucasian woman from the Caucasus Mountains, where this is the 1800s and 1900s. People got records. People got records of stuff. People are keeping records of stuff. You know what I'm saying? People got the pictures of stuff like that. They keeping records of stuff. Where was Master Farah Muhammad's mom from? I need to know. Was she from Turkey? Was she from Iraq? Was she from Uzbekistan? Was she from Tajikistan? Kyrgyzstan? Kazakhstan? Where was she from? Because that makes her lineage would be vastly different. They act like she just walked up out the Caucasus Mountains, covered in hair, dirty as hell, and found a black man. And a black man was like, "Shh, I'll take you, girl. I'll take you and civilize you, and we gonna have the next god of the universe." Like, I always wonder, where was this woman from? Where is her genealogy? What is her nationality? You just gonna say she from the Caucasus Mountains? The mountain range is huge. Where from? The southern region? The eastern point? Where? I just always wanted to know. So he says, wait, I'm gonna do this comment first. Ooh, what did I do? Oh, no. All right. He says, yeah, I read a document and it shows how having Operation Performing implanted to cause division within our communities. So some of the people are paid to keep the division. Let me tell you something, brother. People are not paid to keep the division. That's why I told you go read the Willie Lynch book. Systems was put into place to perpetuate a cycle. And the cycle was never meant to be broken. When you read and you look at the timeline that I gave you, we go all the way up. We'll go all the way up until before the Nation of Islam was established. Before the Nation of Islam was established, we had the Moorish Science Temple, right? That was the most dominant Islamic for Black people in North America at the time. Y'all, they burnt Black Wall Street in the 1920s. They burnt the economic hub for Black societies in America because they were outperforming white people. And when they formed their stock market, the American commodities were going to collapse. So they went and they destroyed everything. Burnt it to the ground. Ain't the first time they didn't burn some shit down to the ground in history. You know what I'm saying? So to do that, then after you destroy the economic, financial foundation of these individuals to be able to maneuver over you, now we see all of these religions for Black people put up. You see all these, the Nation of Islam, which end up breaking off into like 3 or 4 factions. Then, they created the Jehovah Witnesses. So it's like we still want to keep people in that same kind of box. You know what I'm saying? Then we go in and we got the Black Panther Party, the most extreme party. These guys got guns. We can't just go and, systematically destroy. We gotta use force on them. And they did. They did. Everything follows a pattern. And I'm telling you not to lean onto my understanding. Go lean on to your own understanding. All right. It says, Islam, sis, I've seen you on Moorish television with Takabe, and I believe you would definitely serve our people out here in this movement. Thank you, brother. I definitely would like to represent for the women, for sure. We got to hang in there. But also for all of our people, because we need this for all of our people. I'm trying to tell you, when that grid goes down, when that Makita, I can't wait to see you, girl. What up, Detroit? Okay. When that grid goes down, you going to be looking around. You don't give a damn who is going to be around. You don't care if they're atheists. If they got that water and they got a couple canned goods and you starving, you going to do whatever it takes to get over there and get a couple bites. When that grid goes down, look around. When the grid goes down, look around. That is going to be who you are subjected to. When the grid goes down, it's more than just the power is going to be off. Water is going to shut off. Contamination is going to spread. Do you know what happens in your bathroom if you cannot flush it after 3 days? Your whole toilet will blow up, bagged up from all the processed sewage that's trapped in the line. So that means you literally got to duct tape your whole bathroom because the toilet is going to blow the hell up. The water is going to be contaminated. Can you make water out of thin air? Because you're going to need to. Do you know how to take a plastic bag and put it on a tree so you can collect all the condensation? Do you even know what condensation is? These are things that we need to be teaching and showing and prospering for our people. Definitely not propaganda in any type of, you need to join this movement, you need to be a part of this set and give us your money. No. Keep your resources, because you're going to need your resources. That's going to be your only bargaining chip when everything is up in the air. People are going to be out here for resources. And let me tell you something, ladies. If you ain't got no skills and you ain't got no resources, you're gonna be out here. You're gonna be out here like Diamond and Ebony and Ronnie. You're gonna be out here like all them. There was a reason why I played them in the beginning, because that's how all of us gonna be out here if you can't get it together. Thank you. I was just about to say that, Brother Gerard. I was just about to say that Indiana is still without power. They out there robbing people, killing people for generators. Don't have food to eat. Got to line up to get food. They don't have nothing to do. They can't work. They can't do nothing. So during the daytime, everybody's just trying to chill out and gather as much resources as possible. And at nighttime, it's hell on earth. You don't know. It's so dark out there, y'all. You don't know what's outside. It could be a damn unicorn or something like that right in front of your face, and you ain't going to be able to see it unless you got a light. It is insane. Indiana is getting tested as we speak. It's good and bad to every unified and live or stay divided, keep falling. The house divided will fall. But you know what else will make people fall? That's worse than division? People not knowing. People not having that knowing. People not having that lived experience. People not having that weighted experience. So lastly, I'm going to show with you guys how you can go to this website Literally, all you gotta say into Google is show me all the data centers. Show me a map of all the data centers, and this website will pop up. It's the U.S. data center map where you can find the AI clouds in the facilities. When you go there, it literally tells you how many data centers is in each state. And they'll also tell you which ones are building data centers. She said, damn, I want to stay. This is good, but I'm pressing and prepping. I love you. Girl, thank you. You don't got to stay. You could go rewatch this. Go and do what we got to do for our nation, girl. I'm going to see you this weekend. I can't wait. I can't wait. But here's a map of all the data centers, y'all. Just according to the American Psychology, they said that 70% of Americans can point out the state that they live in. And amongst that 70%, less than half, when asked about another state, could actually point it out on a U.S. map. So, what up, brother? Kill. All is well. I hope you're doing well too. I hope you're staying safe out there, not getting burnt to a crisp out there in Georgia. So this is the information. Are they telling you this stuff? Are y'all coming together and coming up with a plan? Are y'all coming together and trying to collect numbers? Because I'm telling you, even everybody in the comments, we are more like-minded in our thought process, in the things that we know that needs to happen than the rest of the world around us. And I'm going to tell you that 80% of the people are NPCs and they're going to perish. I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. People are going to perish right before your eyes. And trust me, I didn't live seeing somebody I love, not once, but twice, perish right before my eyes. And it is such psychological damage that most people will not be able to come back from. Don't let it be a spouse, a parent, or a child. That person will literally go insane. And when people go rogue, when people go insane, they're not just a danger to themselves, they're a danger to everybody else around them. So y'all, I want you to pay close attention. Thank you for joining me here. I hope I was able to clear the air. I ain't got no hate for nobody. I got nothing but love. Mwah. Thank y'all for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I got a little video for here on the little way out. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. But I got to get ready to go to sleep, y'all. It's already 10 o'clock. I got to get up in the morning. So, peace.
I'll be right back.
No, it's not. Get out now.
No, let me out.
Look at you. You all drunk and shit. What, you was gonna let them run a train on you?
No. You overreacting as usual.
I'm not supposed to watch you. You keep trying to leave the club all the time.
Wait a minute, you supposed to be watching me? Here for you and my mama's information. I don't need nobody watching me. I'm grown. I've been watching myself for a long motherfucking time now. I want to make some extra money on the side. That's my business, not yours.
It's your business. You right. But what you trying to do? Make a career of it?
Maybe everybody can't go with college. So we just got to use what we got to get what we want.
Oh, please. Don't give me none of them Ronnie Ho quotes. Make the money. Don't let it make you.
Fed 104. You didn't empty the cans in 104. I'm docking your face.
Come on.
anything else, I'm gonna beat your ass like a runaway slave. Start the music.
What's up?